Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I built a little lighthouse, as you can see in the thumbnail and title, but I'm very happy with the final results. I wanted to focus on a lot of movement, and I haven't really done that in the past, so this was a nice challenge and a new thing for me to master, or at least try out. I was kind of inspired by the Life is Strange lighthouse and also the new Phasmophobia map, the lighthouse. I wanted to do like a Stormy kind of a bit creepy, a bit old, but still very cool. Now, without further ado, let's head straight into the time lapse, and then afterwards I'll tell you a little bit about how I built it and what I've done. So let's get into it. So here is our final product, our final lighthouse, and I'm really happy with the results, and I hope you guys like it too. So again, I focused a lot on movement, which is why we've got these wind tunnels. I don't really know what you what you'd call it, but there's supposed to be wind kind of wrapping around the lighthouse, and it's also why we've got these waves that are coming in from the deep ocean and into and crashing into the rocky surface here. I had to terrain this little area because the whole cliff face wasn't exactly how I wanted it, and I was able to flatten it a little bit more and just make it a bit more cliffy, a bit more, what would you call it, like flat on the sides so that the waves could crash into something. Now, the movement in this I've really captured well. We've got a bit of sea spray just in the middle of the air, which I think is pretty cool. And I added cobwebs because they give more of like a fluffy, splashy kind of idea, which works really well for these little waves. Now, I added these ocean waves a bit later on, and that was because you couldn't really tell if this was rolling fog or something else. And by that I mean the waves crashing into the rocks here. But by adding a little bit of waves, kind of, it gives it a bit of a reference to what these are, so it helps quite a lot. Now the wind whips, I guess they're a mix between like fog or sea spray or anything else really. And one of my favorite parts about it is this area, which is a bit of a colored section of the wind whips, which was just to show like a colored lighting glow from the lighthouse and from the windows. Now, it's a very subtle change and you don't really notice it when you look at it, but you do notice when it's just white. So it does look a lot better and I'm very happy with it. Now, these wind whips were made a lot easier because I've been practicing a lot of clouds lately, so I was able to use that knowledge to give myself an idea of what I should do here. Now, this whole area looks like, or it just reminds me of like a picture that you kind of walked into, like a 3D, I don't know, just photo, because everything is stopped. Time is stood still. And when you walk down this little path, it feels like almost surreal because everything should be moving, but it's all just still. Like the waves, the water's not going to touch you, the sea spray isn't going to dust your face, it's just going to stay there in the sky. And I think it's a really cool concept. Now, the lighthouse itself, I'm really happy with the build. I went with a plain white lighthouse, of course, but I did add some foreshadow, which just added a bit of depth. It's nothing super intense or major, but it does just add that little bit of extra that I think the whole lighthouse needed. But otherwise, it's mostly just white. I've textured it with a bit of diorite and some calcite here and there, just to give it a bit of an aged look and aged feeling. The roofs, of course, are mangrove wood, a bit of red, just adding that red and white iconic lighthouse look. And the interior is nothing special, it's just all cleaned up. I have got a staircase all the way to the top, but it's, again, nothing's done in here. It's just got a few floors, and I had to make sure the floors kind of lined up with the windows so they're viewable. But then you come up here, you can't really get a good view because unfortunately the fences are very difficult to look through. And we've got a bunch of snow up here as well, which isn't great either. And some on top of the wind. Well, you know, just adds character. But the shape of the lighthouse itself I really do like. I like the little bit at the top, I don't know what you'd call it. A propeller, maybe? I don't know. And I do like the dome that I've done here. It looks pretty cool, especially from the ground. I do love this build a lot, and mainly because, again, has, as I said about a 3D photo when you're walking through it, there's just so many angles you can look at it where it does just look like a movie scene. It looks like a picture, it looks like something. I don't know how to describe it, but it just looks like a picture or a movie scene. And I think it's really cool, and I want to build some more stuff like that. But yeah, I'm very happy with the build, and I hope you guys like it as well. And please, let me know. This took me quite a bit of time, but I do love the end result. And I want to do some stuff like similar to this. So, similar to a scene or a 3D photo to walk into, because it was a lot of fun, and it was a bit of a challenge to kind of work through some movement. But I'd love to do it again, especially some stormy stuff. I think some stormy stuff is always fun. I like my clouds, I like my storms. A stormy lighthouse was cool. Lots of storms, that's what I say, more storms. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the build. Thank you so much for watching. I also have a little Discord, so if you're interested in joining that, please pop on. I post all of these builds like earliest there, and there's a bunch of cool people on that as well, so please hop on, say hi. Otherwise, thank you so much for popping over to this video and having a look at this build, and I hope to see you in the next one. So thank you for watching, and goodbye!